you've probably already seen the news from like all the other YouTube videos, right? I'm a little bit late because I didn't feel like making a video at 11 o'clock at night. But hey, now I got to figure out a different title because the title I wanted to use has been used by like 5 other channels. So, damn. I don't know what I'm going to title this, but I do kind of want to celebrate a little bit. Nah, not really. I'm not going to dance on the grave of Texas Motor Speedway, guys. That is the news. Now, to be fair, I don't know if it's confirmed or reliable or whatever. I'm not one of those people that, I'm not a journalist. I try to say this over and over. I don't seek out information and try to report news. That's just not what I do. This YouTube channel is just to react to certain things that, I think is going to happen. So if you guys want to ask me, is it happening? I don't know. Ask someone else. But the rumor is right now that Texas Motor Speedway is getting reconfigured. You could use many different words. You can use bulldozed. You can use blown up. You can use whatever. We've been joking about it for years. Take a bulldozer and just bulldoze Texas Motor Speedway and get it out of here, and we never want to see it ever again. Well, actually, that might actually be happening. Not, next year for the NASCAR race, but in the future years after next year, that might be it. Like, we might not see whatever Texas Motor Speedway is right now. I want to give a shout out to all the Patreon members, as always, for supporting the channel. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you, as always. And comment down below, guys, what you think of, Texas Motor Speedway. Well, first of all, if it was getting blown up, what would you want it to be? So the rumor in the news, it doesn't really go into any specification. One little hint is that it might not be suitable for IndyCar. Okay, so you can take a hint for that, right? So if Texas might not be suitable for IndyCar in the future, then what are they doing to it? Will it not be a mile and a half anymore? Will it be a short track? Will they make it a super speedway? Will they keep it at a mile and a half but make it flat? Will they make it super banked like Atlanta? Like, what? And if it is super banked like Atlanta, maybe it isn't suitable for IndyCar because the speeds would be too high. It would be maybe a little bit too dangerous. So what do you think is going to happen? And I'm sure we'll hear news about it, officially, if they do want to release that news. It was basically, top secret information. But what would it be? And to be honest, for me, I personally, Texas Motor Speedway, I want speed. Okay, so
Cristiano Ronaldo, Suey.
Preferably with even the next gen car, I would prefer a intermediate track, mile and a half. Now, what could you do to it? How could you make it different, from the other mile and a half tracks that are already there? Well, first of all, you obliterate turn 1 and bulldoze it to oblivion. I never want to see turn 1 ever again. That's just, but, personally, I don't think it should be a short track. I don't think it should be a super speedway, something like Atlanta. I kind of don't want that. I think it should be an intermediate track, a fast intermediate track, but they have to get the configuration right to make sure the whole track is being used. And personally, guys, in my opinion, what I think Texas should do is I think they should mirror Homestead Miami. I know there's only one Homestead Miami Speedway, and preferably, before Atlanta did the Super Speedway thing, I kind of wanted Atlanta to go back to what Atlanta used to be. Atlanta was the first Homestead Miami Speedway. That was the first configuration of that egg-shaped oval, just the even on both sides. But other than Homestead, we don't have another version of that track. And Homestead only has one race date, and it should only have one race date. I don't think it should have 2. So it'd be nice to have another version of a style of track like that. And so for me, if we were to bulldoze Texas Motor Speedway, I would want that Homestead Miami Speedway style 1.5 mile track. I wouldn't really want a short track because you got to think about Auto Club, right? Auto Club is they're going ahead with the reconfiguration to make it a half-mile short track. So that takes out one of the 2-mile tracks. Then that only kind of leaves Michigan as that not super speedway, but still speedway. You could have Texas take over Auto Club spot, turn it into a 2-mile track and, really high speed, but again, not a super speedway. So it could be something like that. So that's what I'm looking at. Either a Homestead Miami Speedway kind of variant or a Michigan kind of variant. Other than that, I don't really know what you could do. It also depends on what kind of space are they working with, right? How much space can they enhance the track? I don't think they can because there's, all the, I think, what is it, like the hotel / casino outside, like turn 2 or whatever it is. And so, or is that like just like a building? I don't even know. But you have a certain amount of space that you can use. You could shorten it, but I don't think you could really expand on it. So, it's just going to be interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, what would you want it to be? And I'm sure whatever it is, they already have the idea. Like, it hasn't come out, but they already have the idea of what it's going to be. And the only hint that we have is that it's not IndyCar compatible. So you got to think of tracks that IndyCar wouldn't be able to go to, so that already you think it would be shorter, like a short track, or it would be just something incredibly high banked, incredibly high speed, to where it'd be a little bit too dangerous for IndyCar. So what can it be there? And overall, guys, I think this move had to be done. I think it had to be done. Texas Motor Speedway, we joke about it all the time. I joke about it all the time. We know what we all think a Texas Motor Speedway. I never want to step foot in Texas to even think about that track. If Jeff Gordon personally himself sent me an email and said, we really want you to come watch Hendrick Motorsports VIP pit box, you get to sleep in the motorhome of Chase Elliott and sleep on the guest bed and play video games in the motorhome and bring your dog Skywalker as well. You could put that whole package together, but if you told me it was at Texas Motor Speedway, I would say no. what I really said. Yeah, I'll still say I am not going. I'm not going to Texas Motor Speedway. Okay, I don't care. I could have a personal 3-day vacation with Jeff Gordon and be his assistant and bring my dog. And if it's at Texas Motor Speedway, I'm not going. I despise that track. I can't really emphasize or exaggerate more how much I despise that track. We're looking at the trajectory of Texas Motor Speedway, and it is head first diving off a cliff into the abyss of the Rocky Mountains, and you will explode like a little bug on a spatula. Like, that was the trajectory of Texas Motor Speedway. Something had to change, and it doesn't matter about cost. Oh, it would cost so much money to reconfigure, repave. What? You will die. Like, Texas Motor Speedway would die. So you either spend the money and reconfigure and bulldoze or whatever it has to take, or you'll die, because people will not spend money to go to your racetrack. That was the option. I said that for years. I know you guys said that for years. We all said it for years. Drivers were even saying it. Like, you can't. No one likes Texas. Nobody. Okay. The reputation of Texas Motor Speedway was tarnished forever, and none of what I am saying is exaggeration. We continue 5 years down the line, Texas is off the schedule. It's not on the schedule anymore. You already lose one race date. Already try to make it an all-star race. No, it's off. That's it. It's done. So it doesn't matter how much money you have to pay to make this speedway what it should be. And the potential of Texas Motor Speedway is very high. It is very high. In a beautiful state like Texas, race fans all over the place. You have COTA, where COTA is farther south, isn't it? Circuit of the Americas. Texas is like farther north. I don't know. I'm not a geographical master. I've never been to Texas in my life, so I don't know. But you have COTA there. You have Texas Motor Speedway there. I think it's awesome that we go there twice, but you got to get that facility up to par. And I think whatever they do, this is, I can't stress this enough. This is crucial. You got one shot at this. One. There is no, we're going to reconfigure and then we're going to mess it up and we're going to reconfigure again. This is the final shot. There is no money coming again to do this again, to change it up again. Money doesn't just grow on trees, okay? So this is the one shot they have. So whoever's making the decision here, because I'm not sure who really is making the decision, who the leader is in charge of or is Texas Motor Speedway an SMI track? I have no idea. SMI, whatever it is, or NASCAR-based track. But whoever is making that decision, whoever is in the collaboration of the table and all that, they need to make sure before they go ahead with what the plans are. Because, again, there will be a NASCAR race at Texas next year, okay, in the spring. There will be a NASCAR race there, okay? So we know that the work won't start yet. But while you have this time to make your plans and make your, whatever you want the reconfiguration to be, you cannot take any shortcut into doing this. You need to talk to everybody. And I mean everybody. Get everyone's opinion. Drivers, owners, teams, whatever the company you want to do the construction, leaders of organizations, both for IndyCar and NASCAR, whatever else. But again, if you don't want it to be IndyCar compatible, that's still a weird thing for me if, you're going to just cut out IndyCar. You got to make that decision and understand, what can I do to make my racing facility the best possible product for fans, drivers, teams, and the sport as a whole of motorsports. Because Texas Motor Speedway, facility-wise, I've heard from a lot of people, Texas Motor Speedway facility-wise is terrific. It's terrific. I've heard it's fantastic, and I don't doubt that. I'm sure. I've been to Phoenix, the newly renovated Phoenix. I thought Phoenix was really, really good facility-wise. I don't think anything beats Daytona. I think Daytona is the peak. It's the ultimate. Like, nothing beats it. So Daytona, you're not going to be able to compete with Daytona. But, I've also been to Homestead. I thought Homestead's facilities kind of suck. It's kind of dated. There's not much at Homestead, Miami. That's probably why NASCAR took the championship race away. If Homestead put in some money to update the facilities, I think Homestead would be terrific. Texas doesn't really have this issue. Their facilities are great. If they actually make a racetrack that is fun to watch, fun to drive, entertaining, I'm not even kidding. You can host a championship race at Texas. I'm not even joking with you. You can do it. Because the facilities there are probably on par or maybe not above. Phoenix is really nice now. Trust me. If you guys have never been to Phoenix and you want to go to a championship race, I give it a shot. Maybe the on-track product isn't great, but the actual facilities at Phoenix, top notch. They really put a lot of money in there, and it's awesome. Those 1 mile racetrack. Texas can do the same thing. They can have those facilities and host that championship race. But whatever you do with that track, you got to make sure. And, I know I'm rambling on and everything, guys. But just to make, drive the point home, you got to make sure that this is bulletproof, thoroughly checked out, and you understand what the job is to make Texas Motor Speedway the best racing facility possible. Personally, I would like to stop making jokes about Texas Motor Speedway. I don't want to keep, burying the dead, hitting the dead horse, whatever the phrase is, of just constantly bashing Texas Motor Speedway and making fun of it and, oh, it's awful. And we know that. We get it. It's I'm tired of it, honestly. So seeing this news, I hope it's not fake. I hope it's not some rumor that everyone gets excited about, including myself, and that it doesn't actually come to fruition. I hope this is true. I hope within the next few weeks or months that someone from Texas Motor Speedway or NASCAR, whatever, is going to come out and tell us the plans for what it is and what's going to happen, and that everyone can be happy with it. Obviously, this is NASCAR and racing we're talking about. Not everyone will always be happy with a certain plan of a reconfiguration of a racetrack. I mean, Atlanta was the perfect example. How many people didn't like that, did like it, and all the discourse and everything with that. Texas will be the same way, but whatever the plan is, you need to have full conviction, full belief, and head towards that plan and make sure you make it happen. That's at least what I want. Trust that your plan is going to work for this racetrack, have full belief in it, and execute that job. That's the most I can ask for leaders of a racetrack or organization of motorsport and whatever that is. Because I don't want to see motorsport go to Texas and only go to the Circuit of the Americas. That doesn't sit well with me. I want Texas Motor Speedway to be on par with Circuit of the Americas. So we'll see how it goes, guys. That's gonna be it for me. I know this video kind of rambled on and everything, but I was just speaking from the heart. You guys could tell I'm passionate about this stuff because I want just the sport. So I know IndyCar is separate. I'm mostly about NASCAR. I want NASCAR's potential to be as high as it can be, and I think Steve Phelps and everyone there are making good decisions with the things that NASCAR controls. But the track's got to be on par too. And Texas Motor Speedway, if it's going to be in the playoffs and could host all-star races and stuff like that, I want this facility to not be a joke anymore. I got extremely frustrated year by year of these races. It's the one race every year I actually think about boycotting and just not watching at all. Like, that's how bad it is. So you could see why I'm really passionate about this, because I don't want to be like that. I want to actually enjoy the product like I've enjoyed all year, basically. Most of the racetracks. Not everything can be perfect, but right now I think the balance of the tracks and the cars and everything for NASCAR, at least, is really good. So, that's my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. But most importantly, let me know what you think it should be. Do you want it to be another short track? Which I don't think it should be. I think we have enough, especially with the reconfiguration of Auto Club. And I think Nashville, that's, coming onto the schedule in a few years' time, Nashville Fairgrounds, whatever that is. So That's getting updated, reconfigured. So, then you throw in Bristol, then you throw in Martinsville, then you throw in Bristol Dirt, then you throw in Phoenix and Richmond. That's enough. I think that's enough short tracks when you have Auto Club and Bristol and all that stuff. So let's see how it plays out. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram if you're not already. Subscribe if you are new. I think we're close to 70,000 subscribers. I don't know exactly what the number is, but if we can reach 70,000, that would be awesome. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your day. And, I don't know, just go relax. Go work hard. I don't know. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. I'm going to go now. You could, and just click off. Go on Twitter or something. Bye.